Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. It's time for my regular empties / rapid reviews video. In these videos, I go over stuff that I recently finished and give you my quick impressions about the product. If I have a full review for something, I will put a link in the description box to my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, so you can read more in depth about anything that interested you, review the ingredients list, and so on. But the video, I keep everything kind of brief for each product because I usually have quite a few different things in each video. These are in no particular order. The first one is the Sun by Me Yuja Niacin Brightening All-in-One Cleanser. I typically am not a huge fan of Sun by Me, very hit and miss impressions of the brand, especially their marketing. A lot of the time they will market something as great for sensitive skin, but then have a ton of essential oils in it. One of the examples that I can think of is their Miracle line in the green bottles, but the Yuja Niacin line I really like. I used it before they did the repackaging, and then I'm using it now as well. This cleanser was really good, smelled really fresh like citrus, cleansed well, didn't dry the skin, really no complaints. I finished it because once I started it, I was pretty much using it almost every day because I really like it. Really have nothing bad to say. Of course, if you're sensitive to anything specific, please review the ingredients before you try it. This was a very interesting product, and the reason that I got it was because it was so interesting. This is the Juice to Cleanse Cold Extraction and Compression Water Wash Balm for the face. It came in a jar like this, and you would think it's a cleansing balm, but it wasn't. It actually had the texture, not the smell, but the texture, very similar to Noxzema. And if you're my age, maybe you remember your mom using Noxzema because that was all the rage back then. So it's not a cleansing balm, not quite a foaming cleanser, but definitely closer to a foaming cleanser than a balm. But it had this sherbet texture. It was interesting. I used it up, but I didn't love it around my eyes. Just like the Sun by Me Yuja Niacin, this has definitely some citrus vibes in it when you're using it. But the Yuja Niacin Sun by Me didn't irritate my eyes, and this definitely kind of did. When I used it, I tended to avoid the eye area, but then it wasn't a great daily cleanser because most days I use my foaming cleanser on my eyes as well. So I'm not going to repurchase it, but it was fun to try, and I'm not mad that I tried it. I have a couple of these L'Adore scalp scaling products. Each tube is good for several uses. This is a really good scalp exfoliator to use in addition to your shampoo. You'd use it before the shampoo, get the hair wet, and then massage it in, focusing on the scalp. It doesn't foam. It comes out almost like a conditioner cream, and it has tiny little particles that are a little bit blue in it. And it definitely has this tingly, minty kind of cooling sensation when you use it. It can help with dandruff. I don't have any, so I can't speak to that claim. But what it does is it really super cleanses my oily scalp and roots. And I swear my hair actually stays clean longer. Plus, it feels really good. I used to use these all the time. Years ago, even before I started my blog, this was one of the first Korean like scalp hair product that I ever tried. That's what made me fall in love with the brand L'Adore in the first place. And I recently got them again, and I'm like, why haven't I been using these all these years? I am going to get back to using them more regularly. Usually I do once a week. Can do it more often if you'd like, but very, very enjoyable, just lovely. Highly recommend if you've never tried them. If you're a returning viewer, you've already heard me talk about this. This is the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Probio-Cica Enrich Cream. Yes, Skin 1004 is the proper way to pronounce the brand's name. It's not Skin 1004, not Skin 1004, it's Skin 1004. I learned it from the brand itself. This is one of their newer launches. It is so good. The texture is slightly reminiscent of snail mucin products. It does have a little bit of that kind of stringiness to it. However, it doesn't have any snail in it. Lovely, lovely moisturizer. I talked about it in my fails and faves videos, or maybe like the best of 2023 video. I'm all out now, as you can see. My only complaint is that I wish this inner capsule that actually holds the product was more in line with the size of the outer jar, because it's just a tad misleading. If you hold it against the light, you can really see that the inner capsule only goes down to about here, and it's domed in there, so really you're not getting this volume. I'm sure by weight it's correct in here, but it's a lot less product than the jar would lead you to believe, and I want as much of this as possible. I would happily get this again because it's just a great, great evening moisturizer for me. Probably no surprise to anybody that I'm from Mugwort mask. I almost always have this in my arsenal. It's a great, soothing, calming wash-off mask, especially if I have red irritated skin, or if I've been stressed and have been picking at my skin. I try not to do that, but I'm a recovering skin picker. That has been my self-soothing of choice for years and years and years. It's really a miracle I don't have a ton of scars all over my face, because skin picking was like a part-time job for me for a while. So I still struggle with that sometimes when I'm really stressed. And this is one of the only products that I can use after a picking session. I'm not saying that you should pick your skin, please don't. But if you have any sort of redness, irritation, whatever, and you're looking for something to make it better, this is really good. I know a lot of people don't like the scent of it. I love it. It has this earthy, herbal mugwort smell. It doesn't linger once you wash it off. It's no longer there, but I really have come to love it because the product is so good, and the scent really is not a deal breaker even if I didn't like it, but I happen to enjoy it. So this is almost always in my arsenal. I know I have another one that is in my backup to open, so that's a product I've been using for years and years, and I stand behind it. One of the best gentle cleanser that is not devoid of joy, 107 Chaga cleanser. I've talked about this before. This is not my first tube. I think I have another tube actually in one of my drawers of shame, which are the drawers where I keep all of my unopened items. It is a bit of a pricier brand, but it's definitely worth it. They pride themselves on using this specially aged vinegar. They actually even sell vinegar for consumption, like sipping vinegars, etc. I've tried some of those as well. Very good quality. Their owner is great. It's a small business. And even though these products are priced higher than some of the other things that I normally use, I feel like it's well worth it. This is a super gentle cleanser. It is absolutely working for me on any day. It doesn't matter if my skin is feeling great or if it's damaged, whatever. This always works, doesn't irritate it. As long as I can get my hands on this, I will be using this. I really haven't had many products that I didn't like in this go around because I think the ones that I didn't like, I just ended up passing to friends and coworkers and family before I finished them. This one is the Haruharu Black Rice Triple AHA Gentle Cleansing Gel. I got this through the Yes Style Reviewer program. I'll put a link to that in the description box if you want to join. Basically, you can get some products for review. It's free, but then you are obligated to write a review for them. And when I was getting this one, I 100% was thinking that I was getting a restock of their other cleanser that comes in the same size tube, except it's not see-through. But honestly, when you're ordering something on your cell phone and the pictures are kind of small and you see that it's this Haruharu cleanser, I thought I was getting that. This is not that. This is different. It's a little more liquid. I do wish they would have differentiated the packaging just a little bit more. I mentioned that in my review and the brand said, oh no, it's different. This one's see-through, whatever. Yeah, it's different, but it's not that different. Maybe make it like a different color or something. I prefer the other cleanser. This one also was not bad, but it's more liquid. Honestly, I would happily use either one of them, but I like the texture of the other version a little bit better. This was a really fun product. I saved one in here. This is the VT Super Hyalon sleeping mask, and it came in these individual packs like these. So you would rip one open and then squeeze this out. It's a sleeping pack, so you don't wash it off. And if you're not familiar with Korean skincare, a sleeping pack is basically a moisturizer meant to be used at night. I struggle a little bit with products that are packaged like this because it's almost never the perfect amount in each individual little pack. And this one I really came to appreciate when I was on vacation because sometimes when we are traveling, especially if it's somewhere warm, the skin gets a little bit dry. So as I'm applying this for my face, I only need about half of this, but I really appreciated having more in here because then I put on my neck, chest, even arms and hands, so I appreciated it. But for my normal daily life of not traveling, I definitely prefer products where I can dispense exactly how much I need and not kind of be tied down to the pre-measured little amounts like this. I don't have a ton to say about this. I had two little things of the Frudia creams. This one is a gel cream. Oh, blueberry hydrating cream. This one was the gel one. The only surprising thing about it is that I didn't hate it because typically Frudia products do not work for me. I find their fragrances just offensive. They're very, very strong and often not pleasant. This was not bad at all. If I had a full size, I would keep using it. The other one had a cream that wasn't a gel cream, it was more a traditional cream texture, was also fine. So I used these up really fast once I opened them, and the packaging is super cute. That's the only thing that I usually like about Frudia is their packaging. Because look, it looks like a tiny little pot with a little cloth on it, like a traditional little jam. And I love that. I'm actually having a hard time recycling some of these things when they're this cute. But I just have to remind myself that my house is not infinite storage for cute little empty jars, so I do clean them and recycle them. This is the only non-K-beauty product in the bunch. Typically I don't talk about stuff that I use that is not K-beauty. Sometimes a little bit sneaks in if I think it's worth it. This was worth it. This is Banish pumpkin enzyme mask. So it was an exfoliating wash off mask with pumpkin. I've had this for a while. I just finished it. I am a regular tretinoin user. I have combination skin, some dry areas, and it's really prone to redness. So if I'm not careful, even like scratching an itch leaves big red marks. So it's not necessarily sensitive, but it is reactive. And I was always hesitant to use stuff like this. When you apply this, it does tingle a little bit, and I thought the first time I used it, I thought, uh-oh, am I going to have just a tomato red face after this? No, I didn't. It very gently, very effectively removes all of dead skin cells. If I have a bit of flaking after tretinoin, especially around here, it takes care of all of that. It just leaves really soft, smooth skin, zero irritation, zero redness. With products like this, I definitely recommend patch testing that, making sure your skin is okay, especially if you're new to exfoliating or things like that. But I loved it. This was PR, and I did not expect to love it. It was PR with no expectation of review or anything. They just sent me some stuff to try, and I came to love this. If I had this again, I would totally use it, and actually I wouldn't mind buying it with my own money either. This cleanser, the Rovectin Skin Essentials Conditioning Cleanser, was a hot topic in the K-beauty world for a very long time, and then people kind of calmed down. I haven't heard much about it for a bit, and I haven't had it in a while either. So my passion for it sort of calmed down a bit as well. And then I was in between cleansers, needed something, had this one in my stockpile, thought, oh, that's an easy one. I already did a review. I don't even have to take photographs of this. I can just open it and use it. And I was reminded once again just how amazing it is and why we all love it so much. It is so gentle, it's lovely, it is just a great, effective cleanser. I love the pump because, I don't know, it's just so convenient. Cleansers that come in pumps are my absolute favorite. It doesn't mean that I won't use a cleanser in a tube, but if it comes with a pump, amazing, perfect. So if you haven't tried this, highly recommend that you try it. I have mixed feelings about this. This is Isntree Onion Newpair Gel Cream. It is so expensive for the size that you get, and typically to me Isntree isn't one of those high priced brands. Their pricing is usually pretty on par with other brands that are more on the affordable side. They're not very cheap, I wouldn't say, but they're kind of like middle of the pack. This one though, for the size you get, is expensive, and I mentioned that in my review, and a few people came out and said that onion is actually very expensive ingredient to use in skincare. So I like this. I don't think that I would buy it with my own money because my skin does really well with other ingredients and with other products that are cheaper. I didn't see like mind-blowing results from this that I couldn't achieve with other products. Would I use it again if it landed in my lap for free? I would. It's a nice gel cream. It's very light, but it still does hydrate. I do think it helped a little bit with redness and such. But again, it's just the price for the size for my specific skin, not great. If you're somebody who can't tolerate other things, you are seeing some kind of results from this product that you just cannot achieve with anything else, I'm sure it's worth it. And I'm sure if I were in your shoes, I would also think it's worth it and would be buying it. But for me specifically, not worth a repurchase. I'm sure people would be interested in this. This is the Sun By Me Retinol Intense Reactivating Serum. It has retinol 0.1%, retinol 1 part per million, and bakuchiol 5,000 parts per million. It looks like this. All I can tell you is I like the texture of it. That's all I can tell you. I don't know what it does results-wise. Typically with products like this, I use them on the neck, the chest, sometimes the body, and then I usually have some sort of K-beauty eye thing with retinol. Because on the rest of my face, I use tretinoin, and you don't want to really mess with that. You don't want to use other retinoids when you're using tretinoin. But the skin on the neck and the chest and around the eyes is more sensitive, so I go to K-beauty for that. The reason I can't really tell you much other than I like the texture of this and the feel of it is because it was quite small. So I used it up really quickly and I'm not sure if it did anything. And with retinol, you are in it for the long haul and you just kind of have to give it time to work. You also have to keep in mind that I'm a regular retinol user, including on my neck and chest. It's just not tretinoin, but I'm using something there usually by Wishtrend, the Amazing cream that they have. So For me right now, it's more about maintenance versus really expecting huge results. If you're brand new to retinoids, you will probably see some results maybe in a month or two. But when you're consistently using things like retinoids, it's more really about maintenance versus just seeing results over and over and over and some kind of continuous improvement. I don't think that's a realistic expectation. This was underwhelming. This is the Isntree Spot Saver Mugwort Ampoule. I went through this quite fast because it was nearing the end of its shelf life and I needed to use it up. I was expecting something along the lines of the I'm From Mugwort line. I already talked about how much I love I'm From Wash Off Mask with Mugwort as well. I love the I'm From Mugwort Essence, just instantly calming. This honestly just kind of felt like green water on my skin. I don't think it did anything beyond just basic hydration. I ended up actually using it up on my body because you can't really have too much hydration on the body. Most of the time I kind of neglect the skin on the body. So I used it up like that. I'm just not impressed at all. And I wouldn't be repurchasing this. I had this in my shame crate for so long. I don't know why I waited so long to open it. This is the Skin 104 Zombie Beauty Witch Pack, and it's individual little packs of clay masks in there that are really, really nice. I was a little bit afraid that they would be harsh. I don't know why I was afraid of that, but maybe it's like the fun and a bit of a gimmicky packaging, like the witch pack. I know what they're trying to do, but sometimes the packaging and marketing like this kind of gives off Tony Moly vibes, and those are really hit and miss. Either way, the clay masks in here are wonderful. They're not drying. If you don't know how to properly use a clay mask, I have a whole video about that, but all I have to say about this is it's good. I would happily use it up. In this specific case, having prepackaged little clay things does work for me. I think that maybe though you get less money per use in jarred clay masks. I haven't quite done all the math to prove that, but it is really nice and convenient, and sometimes I'll leave a couple of packs in our extra bathroom, so that if I'm taking a shower there, I can just grab a pack and use it. Really nice, immediately softens the skin, immediately makes the pores appear less large. I definitely recommend this if you want to try something fun that's still good, because there are some products, I don't know if you saw the horror stories about some unicorn masks that gave people like chemical burns. So sometimes fun packaged products are not actually good products, but this one is actually a good product. Last but not least, I have totally been neglecting my body skin. Again, I'm trying to do better. Actually, I either will have or already have published a video all about body care. I'm filming that today. I usually batch film my content. So this is a good body product. It's Passion and Beyond Total Recovery Body Moisturizer. This was really nice and rich but not sticky. But the best part about it is the smell. If you don't like fragrance, this is not for you. But for somebody who can tolerate some fragrance or who likes a nice scent that's not overpowering and that doesn't linger for days and days, this is such a great choice. I can still smell it a little bit through the nozzle here, but it's kind of floral without being overpowering or musty or anything. It has fermented ingredient, ceramides, hibiscus. It's such a good product. I think this would also be a really good gift for somebody if you know that they don't mind a scented product, because it's wonderful. That's all I have for you today. I'm going to recycle these, and then as soon as I run out of room in the little box where I keep my empties, I will do another one of these videos. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, or if you have your own opinions about any of the products I showed today, I love hearing from you. I try to respond to every comment, and it also really helps my channel. Thank you very much for joining me today. You can find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, my blog KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group Korean Beauty Fanatics. We are almost at 94,000 members, which is unbelievable. So I hope to see you in my next video, and until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much.